Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 15, Week 2, as you can see by that beautiful ticket there, that LD2L Season 15 ticket. Today, we're taking a look at Leftside Lunchboxes, taking on the Princess Gang. And today, I tried to get anybody else, but unfortunately, the only person who would pick up this call was Cheeseburger. How's it going, Burger Prince?
Fuck you. Hey, it's Cheeseburger.
Don't you have a team or something this season?
Yeah, I'm captaining Los Muertos.
Yeah, you did
The
really good in
supposed
the live
fence
game
deck.
this week.
The live game?
Yeah,
Oh,
the game,
recently?
yeah, the game versus Ricky Blinders. Did really good at
Yeah,
that. Left side
it
lunchboxes, Princess.
wasn't enough though.
Yeah, you can say that. Left side lunchboxes immediately taking the bans to the Hollywood here. Not terribly surprising. I feel like one reliable way against any Hollywood team to give you more of an advantage is just ban him. Just hit him a little bit, smack him across the face. Princess Gang looking at the tree, which is going to be a very common first phase ban. Looking at the Dawnbreaker, very surprising to see the Mars banned. I know that Princess played at week 1, but I mean, just beat it. Mars sucks. And of course, because Lena got to first pick without being banned, first pick Lena for Princess Gang. You're probably going to see, like, every single game this season. Like, if Lena isn't, well, not this season, until a patch at least. If Lena gets to first pick without getting banned, chances are better than not that it's going to be Lena.
This hero is just really strong, to be honest. You can like go any build on it, and it just rocks any lane. I think the only lane that I guess it draws even with is OD. And even then, OD like triumphs every hero anyway, but
Got the clockwork
just so
here.
good.
I do think that in the long run, Lena is a little more counterable than people give it credit for. But the problem is that you're working in the environment of LD2L, you're working in the environment of people who have specific pools, and being able to counter out the hero with specific picks does not necessarily mean that that option is actually going to be available to you.
Like the
Clockwork
clock
coming up
pickup.
here. Yep, Tall Ball's
So
very good performance on the Clockwork week 1. Not quite as good as Copeless, but that's a very hard measure to stand up to. Tiny coming up here. I like
double
the
melee.
I like this combination, even though they're double melee. Um, in the mid game, these two are going to be like a nightmare for Lena. Clockwork being able to just point at her stun. Here's a Grimstroke, no surprise there. Going to be on S Culture 3. Definitely not a bad matchup with the Lena here. Got a double ear fun with the Laguna Blade. But Clock and Tiny should, at the very least, hypothetically, be able to just quickly close on the Lena and just burst her with so much damage she just explodes, which is really her biggest issue in the mid game. She is still, at the end of the day, a glass cannon, and these two are very, very good at shattering glass.
Yeah, the Dawnbreaker ban, the Axe ban, those are pretty good. And the Faces Void ban, those are all counter bans to Lena.
Yep, good protection here.
Are they
Say goodbye to
targeting
Puck.
Jopa's heroes?
Probably.
Ember, Puck.
Like I said on my pre-season document, you know, the Princess Gang is almost a gimmick team in how it's assembled, in the way that all of their players have a, like, not all their play. No, actually, yeah. I'll go as far as to say, I'll be mean enough to say, probably all their players have what I would consider to be a fairly limited pool in size. Princess probably has the biggest, but it's not by that much. Jopa's pool is 4 or 5 heroes. Hollywood's is like 3. S Cultures is like 3. They got a lot of very small pools. So, comfort bans against this lineup, I think, are, as a result, very effective. Because when you start looking outside of their pools, like within their pools, these guys are monsters. Like
10
Jopa
seconds
plays like 4 or
remaining.
5 heroes, but he has like 70% win rates on all those heroes.
5
You know what I mean?
seconds
It's
remaining.
incredible.
Dire team
But you
picked.
start looking off of that, and it's like,
Pixelated.
oh, so outside of his top few, he has, 15 games, and most of this happened years ago. It's that sort of situation. Crystal Maiden coming up here on Leftside Lunchboxes. Never a bad pick. Goes well with the Tiny, will allow
10
him to build,
seconds
and
remaining.
Clockwork as well. Two very mana hungry heroes who like casting a lot.
5 seconds
CM being on the
remaining.
field will help them stay in the rotation, keep fighting. And you also have something nice to drop when the Clockwork's got somebody interesting in jail. Ain't nothing
Dire
worse than
team
having to sit there in
Radiant
the middle of a
team
bunch of gears and just have the CM ult fall on your head. Here comes the Sand King. It's going to be your Princess
Mirana.
hero. The Mirana's going to be your Hollywood hero. I don't know if I like that offlane, to be honest with you. That's two heroes that just don't feel like they do that much right now, and two heroes that I feel like you
10
can
seconds
eliminate with
remaining.
items very easily,
I
effectively.
mean, at
5
least with the
seconds
Sand King and
remaining.
Grim, like that's like a really good combo. You can always throw Inkswell on Sand King, and you could also get a double Burrow Strike with Grimstroke's ultimate. So I think there's synergy there. And
Problem
Mirana
is
into
that
Lena stun.
if somebody on Leftside Lunchboxes builds a pipe, then they just reduced they just got rid of like 80% of Princess Gang's damage basically in the first few seconds of the fight.
Dire team ban.
And
Drow
here comes the
Ranger.
Drow Ranger. Recently, I described Drow Ranger as being the rock of the meta at this MMR, and certainly we're going to see a lot of that here. I don't like the Drow matchup against the Sand King that much. It
10
really is a
seconds
who
remaining.
fires first scenario. It is a very play-oriented
5 seconds remaining.
matchup, but she should be okay against most of these other guys. Also has to watch out for, mile away Mirana arrows as well. In particular, probably the biggest possible blue ball in the early game in this particular game will be
Radiant
if you
team
get the
ban.
big ink swell and then the Grimstroke ult comes out and Sand King's getting ready to go in and then he just gets silenced by the gust. Knocked back, knocked away.
Dire
That can
team ban.
really be disastrous for a fight, and they don't really have anything else that she pressingly needs to gust. So to that end, keeping Sand King hidden and therefore making sure left side lunchboxes don't have that good a vision, going to be very paramount to Princess Gang here. If they want to win those early fights.
10 seconds
Juggernaut knocked
remaining.
out. OD follows.
5
No
seconds
terribly big
remaining.
surprises there. OD ban probably in reaction to the Jug ban.
I do like the lanes look though. Sand King Mirana against Drow CM. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a very unfortunate situation for Drow.
lane should be good for the Dire offlane. Problem is going to be parlaying that lane into a successful mid game, especially if they end up with somebody who is very freely able to get some anti-magic damage type situations going on left side lunchboxes. Notably, they are leaving presumably their 3, J-Bay, as their last pick, who is in the best possible situation to do something about that.
What are you predicting for JB's hero?
I don't know, it's tough to stay at this point. I think Pitlord could definitely be a very strong hero here. Another nasty thing to throw into Clockwork Jail. The passive really hurts Lena. She's one of the most negatively affected by it. And you can easily just hoard up on magic resist items to make the Sand King Mirana Grimstroke miserable. While still being flexible enough that if you need to pull out, you've still got something there. Princess bringing it down to the wire here on this ban.
Radiant team ban.
Finally decides to ban Viper for some reason. It wouldn't be the worst pick, but I do feel like Viper is. I don't know. I feel like if you pick Viper, you just don't have enough tank for the physical damage side of the equation. Which, we've already got the Lena and
10
we're waiting for
seconds
a pause
remaining.
one, so there's going to be at least some of that.
5 seconds remaining.
Viper is great against the magic damage personally, but he's not really
Dire
great
team
at
pick.
getting that advantage to his team. You really don't want to be building items like Pipe on him unless you have to. And he's very fragile when it comes to fizz damage. More than you'd think, certainly.
Radiant team pick.
And up comes
Leshrac.
Lesh. So it's going to be a pause on Lena here.
Dude, Mage Slayer and Pipe kind of triumphs this team right here.
Yeah, they really painted themselves into a corner
10
on this
seconds
lineup.
Mm-hmm.
remaining.
It's a shame that they Leftside Lunchboxes didn't know what this was going to
5
be earlier,
seconds
because like a
remaining.
silencer here would have just been awesome. Like, what would they have possibly done?
I mean, actually, what if they pull a offlane AM?
I guess they could. I'm still not the craziest about that, but it's not the worst option here. Leftside taking their time on this last pick.
I kind of like Bloodseeker for this pick, to be honest. They have
I
Lush,
feel
Mirana,
like
and Flanking.
the problem with Bloodseeker is that he's only going to exist when he has BKB up. The second BKB goes down, he just dies to these guys. He's just not nearly uh, able to physically stand to that. Got an LC, which is interesting.
Legion Commander.
That could definitely also be good, considering everybody on that team is very cast dependent. If LC is able to just like duel the Leshrac fairly early in a fight, not that much they can do about that.
I mean, it could be counterintuitive. Before JB gets BKB, there's 2 stuns that could, stop him because he's just basically just staying still, dueling someone.
On one hand, there are stuns that can stop him, but on the other hand, Leshrac, at least in theory, if you time it right, should be like a small enough option as far as doing damage to you that even if you do get stunned, the worst thing that happens is you just draw the duel. Don't think they're necessarily killing her early, especially she builds even modestly tanky. And the rest of the team should basically mean if you drop everything to try and stop the duel, then you just get annihilated. Tiny just drops a train on your head, Drow Ranger just multi-shots, and you've already used all your resources. So you just can't do anything about it?
I do think, though, for Leftside Lunchboxes, that their team fight is all centered around this Legion Commander. If they don't get, like, a good dual target, let's say,
Well,
like, he
not
duels,
it's
like,
not really true, is it? Because you can just have clockwork hook shot, put up the gears, and then whoever's in that, you have the CM ult, you have the tiny crap, you have the Drow Ranger multi shot. They have a perfectly functional team fight outside of that. And even though this is a rare situation, even though they have that Grimstroke Sand King combo, I do feel like the way that Leftside Lunchboxes, at least ideally, should be positioning in a fight means it's actually going to be kind of hard for them to really reliably get more than 1 or 2 people at a time. And of course, we got to go for the immediate pause.
it's like someone was at the door.
Perhaps. Either way, I think it basically comes down to this. I think Leftside Lunchboxes has the execution-heavy draft. Things have to go right for Leftside Lunchboxes. If they coordinate poorly, if they don't bring it all together in a satisfying fashion, if Clockwork's got somebody
30
in gears and
seconds
then
left.
CM just randomly starts ulting somewhere else to try and kill the Mirana or something, then they're just screwed. They're just done. And this is a team that has had pitfalls when it comes to that sort of execution before. On the other hand, if they can bring it all together, they can coordinate the fights really well. If they can, get a good dual target, get a good hook shot in gear jail,
The
they can
battle
bring everything
begins.
down on the VIPs, on the Leshraklina, and stay away from the retaliation that's going to come from their 3 and under club, then they should be fine. They should have a very definitive path to victory here. Certainly, I don't think this is a situation where the team is entirely drafted out. Even with that being said, there are certainly advantages that Princess Gang can take, especially centered around the, 9 million mile Mirana arrows. I don't know what you do to try and survive a pick if you get that max length Mirana arrow stun. But certainly, oh, Matty Boy having a little bit of a go here. Certainly, one thing that you do have to say is Lunchboxes have, for the most part, very meta adjacent at least picks, whereas Princess Gang have more kind of middle of the road to low win rate type guys like the Sand King is really just not anywhere right now. Matty Boy will now die. Goodbye, Matty. Just cannot be laning against a Mirana like that.
I mean, this is a matchup against the 2 people that die the most in the
That's
league.
true. But, Matty
I
just
think so
kind
said
of...
that already.
Matty just kind of randomly walk into Division when he has, no health left. Probably ain't too good for him. So, with that being said, at the very least, it's a pause 5. With that being said, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the cast. We got the roll call here. So, for Leftside Lunchboxes...
Can I do the dire?
Yeah, sure, why not? For Leftside Lunchboxes, pause 1, you've got Lone Wolf on the Drow Ranger. Pause 2, you've got Looter on the captain of the team on the Tiny. Pause 3, you've got J-Bay on the Legion Commander. Pause 4, you've got Tall Balls on the Clockwork. Pause 5, you've got Matty Boy on the Crystal Maiden. And now it's your turn to do the Dire.
On pause 1, we have Moon River of Princess Gang, and on pause 2, we have Jopa, sponsored by Gosu Academy, and pause 3, we have Princess, Princess on the Sand King, sponsored by Marcy, and pause 4, we have Doug Wood playing
Don't
the
say what he's
Mirana,
sponsored by.
sponsored by UWU.
Sure, I'll accept.
And we have on pause 5, we have Accelerator on the Grimstroke.
Yeah, something like that. See, not as easy as you thought. That's why I get paid the big bucks.
I was just stumbling about.
Matty taking another dive. Drow Ranger so far really not able to get anything done in this lane. She's about to pick up the level of Gust, which could change things a bit. It's probably not gonna let her win the lane by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly should let her stand up more often and get some last hits a little bit more often. No, that range creep had a family. Looter misses the cool creep. What a shame. So far, outside of Drow Ranger in particular, things are favoring Radiant for the last hit count so far. In particular, interestingly enough, it feels like this safe lane's struggling a little bit. I guess it's not too surprising. One downside to Sculpture 3's Grimstroke is that I would never classify Grimstroke as that defensive of a support. You usually want him pause 4. You don't really want him pause 5 so much. He's gonna get bullied a little bit here.
Ball playing really aggressive.
Just opening a lot of space for J-Bay to just kind of farm up here. Which so far has been the case, top of the line for net worth, even has most denies at this point. Looter in second place on both of those fronts.
Dire's structures are fortified.
But unfortunately, they're very closely followed by the rest of the core lineup, and then a million miles, and then it's Drow Ranger, which ain't what you want to have happen to your early game.
I'm kind of surprised Legion Commander didn't go for a wand, because the Grim is just gonna constantly spam his ink spray, and
Yeah, Lena's
Lena's just gonna spam spells.
it. Yeah, I agree with that, I think. It is very interesting to see as
Dire's
spammy as this lane's
has
going to
been
be.
killed.
Okay, Hollywood did not actually get his crab off the courier there, very sad. Unfortunately, this push is successful, and neither side of this equation really seems to want to do anything with it. Alright, we'll now have a really big wave, though, since the Pine Cones were not actually able to effectively kill the creep wave. Okay.
CM is dead.
Yep. No, she's fine. Princess did take quite a chunk of damage there. Oh, Drow Ranger is choosing not to go Gust at all
No
this
Gust.
lane.
Not very pog.
You know, Manoy just levels stats. I don't
On
know if
Drow?
you saw that. Yeah. When he played you, we did that cast, and it was annoying. One of our commentators at Manoy was so dedicated to not getting Gust in a good Gust lane that he got stats instead of it.
Double damage.
Hmm. Well, what can I say? He is sandbagged.
Boom, there it goes.
And speaking of Sand King still holding up this lane very well as a result of it. Drow is making a bit of a comeback here, but not much at once. CM takes the last hit by accident. There's one bit of good news. I do think this lane is kind of minimally bad for Drow considering the conditions of it. I mean, on one hand, she is last hits. On the other hand, neither of the offlaners really have a very... Oh, okay. Okay!
Oh,
Drow Ranger
Jesus.
very low here.
Players here.
They gotta watch their positioning a little better than that against the Sand King. But,
This CM is a little bit...
dead. Yep.
Oh, the arrow. I would have stolen that, to be honest.
I agree with Thugwood. Matty Boy predicts the solo kill incoming. But as I was saying, yeah, well, Drow is at the bottom of the charts for last hits. Clockwork just accidentally took a last hit off of her there, which doesn't help, but sad. Dota is illiterate, confirmed. Matty Boy accidentally gives Lone Wolf a Mango, who just gives it right back. Okay, we've got Leshrac coming up at top here. Tiny coming in behind. But
Jopa.
Tiny goes for the wrong guy. Tries to drop everything on Jopa, who is A-OK, and has raindrops as well. Whereas the very low health, very in danger Lena gets to stay alive with nothing targeting her. It's a bit unfortunate.
Is under attack.
I don't know if Looter realized there.
This Drow running
Yeah, they
low.
finally got the Drow.
On CM as well.
Yeah, and Princess
Double kill
was
for
probably gonna live here.
Thugwood. Didn't see it in chat yet or no? Oh,
And Clockwork is
Clock.
just gonna get snapped too.
no Thugwood coming out. It's very surprising.
Sand King picks up a hood. Finish the hood now. Now is going for the Blink Dagger. And whereas I tried and was interrupted constantly while trying to say it a million times there to say, the lane phase hasn't gone that bad for Drow. The low denies and all that. And large amount of last hit slept through. Didn't die in lane. Well, now that's all changed. And now Sand King has certainly walked away here. Would not be terribly surprised to see. Yep, top of the net worth charts here. Second is Looter. Looter very close second, but that wasted go at top, where he just kind of dropped on the wrong person, did not help his campaign here.
It happens.
Nothing else. Outside of Drow's net worth, which has plunged considerably in the last couple of minutes. Well, not considerably, but proportionally plunged considerably in the last couple of minutes. Have a go here on Lena. A brave duel at top, but nobody wants to do anything about it. Legion Commander very close to finishing up Blade Mail here, while Matty Boy is going to take another spell. It is somewhat lucky that Matty Boy has been taking the brunt of the punishment down here at bot. You know, it's not great that CM is 0-5, but it's a hell of a lot better than the alternative of Drow being 0-5, and I do think that, despite Matty Boy's reputation, I do think he has been doing a good job here of more being the funny clown that, you know, the distraction action for Lone Wolf here. He's been doing a good job just getting in Princess's face, looking appetizing. You know, Thugwood's face, looking appetizing. Getting the heat off of a Drow who could have had a much worse lane than this.
That's true. It's a silly goose, but making space for the Drow. They're not hunting him in the jungle.
There's a little bit of hunting in the jungle going on the part of Looter, but he's satisfied with what he's got here. He's moving in on his own Blink Dagger. Drow Ranger has moved in at mid, which probably isn't a bad idea. Honestly, if Looter was a brave enough man to realize that raindrops are an item in Dota, it probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to, at some point, maybe after the Drow died, just straight up switch, you know, send Drow to mid, force her at gunpoint to level the Gust. Send her out of mid and just rotate the Tiny to bottom. Because I think Tiny can kind of take lane a little bit, whereas Drow can't.
Surprised this Lena's jungling.
Yeah, she's
Not really a good hero in the jungle. But
yeah. Just does not want to. I mean, I assume this is probably not like a full-time thing. It's just something that she's doing, rather than having some dead air at a point where it's like, well, her bot lane is pushed to the T2, her mid lane is being competed by Tiny, who is the most dangerous hero on the board to her, and you don't want to walk into 3 people at top, so what can you do? Right now, not terribly much. So you just jungle so you're not doing nothing.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I feel like this Lena could be like at least like pushing out the wave mid at least.
Like I said,
Playing
you know,
very close to the enemies right there.
Tiny,
And
very like
see
probably
her.
the most dangerous person on the board to the Lena in this game.
Is under attack.
If Tiny gets a good combo on Lena, I think she just dies instantly, especially not having anything. She doesn't die instantly, she dies very soon, and an unexpected rotation in from one of the Radiant support line can certainly seal that deal, so I understand why Lena would be unwilling to do that.
I mean, if he's not jumping on the Grim, then why would he jump on the Lena? And then
The honest answer to that is that Grim's probably not worth the creeps you're missing.
huge
Lena should
Laguna
not have showed
Blade
up for that fight.
dies to the CM ult though, which is the highest DPS spell in the game.
And look, he did go in on the Grim, see?
Well, that's after everyone died.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The most easiest hero to kill is probably the Grim or the Mirana, I guess.
This CM ult is going to be a very, very big skill for the Radiant for a lot of this game. Just because until BKBs come out on all of these cores, the only person on the entire lineup who can really stand up to it for any good amount of time is the Sand King. Anybody else, and they're just going to get demolished by it. Lena just dies in seconds under it. Lesh, the Grim and Mirana certainly. None of them are going to last more than a thought in the CM ult. And if the Clockwork Gear Jails are good, if the Tiny Avalanches and Tosses are good, they can really make quite a nasty disaster zone there.
Does Jopa have Blitz on yet?
No. Drow is
Really
dead.
close. I hope he disassembles his boots though.
What's done is done.
Looking likely. All he has is the energy booster, so. Yeah, that was a bit nasty there. I believe that was the first Mirana ult used in the game. They just used it to drop on the Drow there, just knock her out.
CM doesn't get stunned, but huge amount of arrow coming. Clockwork tanks it. CM ult. There's double
Gets
silence.
stopped.
And there's a huge duel there.
Sand King just eliminated from the game.
I don't know if this is a very good trade. 2 supports for a Sand King. What? I think the
I mean, the
Slush
good
Track
news
gets out of
is,
there.
yeah, Lesh is
Nope,
just
he doesn't get
completely
out of
dead.
there.
The good news is it's 2 supports for 2 cores, and even if they hadn't lost the other core, even if they had, if Lesh had gotten away, the other big thing that comes out of that is free dual damage for LC. Certainly nothing to sneeze at in a game like this. If LC starts doing like a billion, like if she gets fed on duels, she's gonna be able to just conquer this game basically. If LC has a load of fizz damage, it's gonna be a really hard task to get anything done to her before dying yourself. Because again, they don't really, I mean even Sand King's not physically tanky. They don't have anybody who can stand up to a strong duel, basically. So if LC gets, you know, a billion damage and just drops on your head, she just slices your head off in a second flat. Looter!
Creep tanked
This
it, and
is
there's
a
a duel
very
there.
ballsy duel. It's gonna win! Wow!
Yeah, no stuns there. Mirana arrow was already used, and Ink Soul takes some time.
That's very, Looter very ballsy back here. Thugwood living with just a little bit of health. Tiny just
Pretty sure he has a
to-
mango, doesn't he? Oh, he did. He had 1 charges. And if he swapped his boots to mana, he would have been able to kill the Mirana.
Dire structures are fortified.
But yeah, Dro's silently farming in the background.
Princess, making
Radiant are
noise.
scanning.
Yeah, Drow Ranger has been just farming. Unfortunately, even with all the cores occupied, Leshrak's able to farm no matter what he's doing. They've actually been able to maintain a lead on all the cores over Drow. Still, that certainly can change, especially as she gets into the feedback loop of, ooh! Matty Boy thanking God for those tranquil boots.
I think this Drow should be a bit more aggressive if they see 3 heroes mid. And so is the Lina. I think both ones are playing it way too safe. And I
Lesh
think
is,
that
likely
Lesh
dead.
will get out of this.
No dual damage, but
We'll get out of the duel at least, but not.
yeah. Chez sent Drow 1 slot up the rankings.
There's just so much like camps on the map that aren't being
Radiant's
farmed.
middle tower has fallen.
Gotta go here. This is a great gear jail. And that's a pretty good Drow Gust too. It's really made a big problem out of this.
I'm just wondering why the Lina was there.
Total elimination. Only Sand King survives. Luckily he's invis.
He might be able to do something with the way this Drow
Yeah,
is
he's gonna
positioned.
try and drop on Drow here.
I don't think it's enough damage though. Just need a little bit more, and she's force staffed away.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't think this Tiny dies here. And there's the backup.
Tiny dead.
And there's
Or-
a huge duel right there.
And that's a
Tiny
win
gets the
too.
damage.
Last second win, but it is a
Jopa running low,
win. Jopa running out.
dies. Huge CM ult from Matty Boy. Everyone just running in and dying. Okay, finally Lina's pushing in the lanes.
4 dead once again. Go Birds. 2 subsequent team fights. or 2 consecutive team fights rather, that end the same way. The only difference is who
Radiant's
ends
bottom
up surviving
tower
it.
is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Lena did jump up like 600 net worth though while they were fighting,
Radiant's
pushing
bottom
into
tower
waves.
is
So
under
That's
attack.
true, but
doing good to
everybody
see.
else on the on the Radiant jumped up a heck of a lot more.
the CM and the mouse.
Yeah, unfortunately, see him the most, but that's how it's gonna go sometimes.
That's not for the likes of you.
This is definitely one of the games where Lena's gonna have to be very careful about her pushing. This is an unfortunate thing to say when you're a pause 1 Lena in a game like this, but I don't really think, aside from CM, who obviously shouldn't be doing that, I don't think you really credibly win the 1v1 with any of these guys after a certain point. They got some very good surprise factor for her. So she definitely has to play smart when she's pushing out the side lanes here, or she is risking a catastrophic death.
CM has a lot of jump. And the Lena, I guess, has to play like a drow. like not showing unless he sees his teammates getting gone on.
Yep. The good news for Lena at this point is Lena has sent it to the top of the net worth charts by now.
Yeah.
Radiant have been preparing for a team fight that just isn't going to come for a little bit here.
At this point, I think they should just pressure the mid tower.
J-Bay is,
Dire's middle tower is
well,
under attack.
mid tower successfully pressured out of existence. J-Bay waiting up top for somebody to show on this wave. Leshrac has decided to do so, but he is, he remembers what's happened to him every other time he's done this, and so this second he finishes dropping all of his skills, he just runs for the hills. Dire pushing in bot lane, trying to put some pressure on the T2 here.
The Radiant is doing a lot of lollygagging right now. Not really
Do it with flair.
doing
This'll
anything.
come in handy.
Well, I guess they're not
Everybody's,
taking over the
I feel
temple.
like everybody on Radiant is just really hoping that Dire tries to start another fight, and it's just not going to happen.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Their vision is not good, and so they have no idea how currently free this pressure on the T2 is.
They have way more tower push though on the
Radiant's bottom
Dire.
tower
If
is
they
under
Lena
attack.
just hits it.
Dire's
Drow's here.
top tower is
Are
under
they gonna
attack.
seriously just trade towers?
Dire's structures are
I believe the answer to that is yes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I mean, bottom's gonna fall first. They should just TP back now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Top actually fell first there.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
One unfortunate thing about the Lena right now is that net worth chart is slightly deceptive. Lena is currently the only core with the BKB, so... Well, she is definitely a lot more survivable. Her tower push is definitely nowhere near you would expect a Lena with that much money at this point. Both teams now trying to figure out what exactly they should be doing. The answer they've agreed on is everybody jungles now. LC getting very
Surprised.
closer on BKB.
I'm surprised with the Leshrac and the Lena, they didn't take that tower first, bottom. CM.
I mean, it's easy to forget you're talking about a team with a Tiny and a LC with a loaded dual damage. Both teams just... Radiant is just desperately trying to find the Dire here. Dire only now going for the Radiant. Matty Boy unintentionally breaks his smoke in a very big way.
Hook shot on Marana. Huge
Oh,
double
this is
stun.
not where Sand King wants to be.
Tanking has Lotus in though.
It's the humiliation.
There's dust out from Matty Boy.
They're a lot less confident on trying to fight this without the LC here. Oh,
Oh, that's a huge duel. And he's
She
not
does not
choosing
want
not
it.
to do the Lina.
Yeah. Didn't think that they could get it, I guess. Oof, Jopa getting away at just
Huge
a
double stun.
little HP.
Held your feet to the fire.
It's like the fight is very messy, but
Yeah, really don't understand why the duel wasn't used on the Lina there.
Sand King is doing a really good job of like evading back and forth, and this Grim is basically getting like able to use all his spells for free.
Yeah, that was a very poor organizational play there. The CM ult got immediately canceled. Nothing was stopping it from happening. And they just got a little too brave without the Clockwork there, even though Clockwork is a deceptively large part. I mean, that's why. It's because they don't realize it yet, exactly how important Clockwork and the cogs in particular are to the success of their team fights. So trying to take one without the cogs there was just very awkward for them.
I think they should have saved their hook shot, to be honest. Using it on the Mirana, and then you end up using the duel on the Mirana as well.
Yeah, that's just exactly what Hollywood wants you to do. Like, he is not even close to worth that, especially considering, like, Moonlight wasn't even up. Not like that should be a big concern to you at this point. Moonlight wasn't even up. He's got that Yules. That Yules can be annoying, but it shouldn't be anything more than an annoyance, surely. Especially with LC having BKB. That was her 9. She used her 9 to die and accomplish nothing. Oh, I guess she did get a dual win off of that.
But the rest of the team dying.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it. I mean, it can become worth it in the long run. Like I said, if LC snowballs, if she starts to really run away with dual victory damage, I really don't know what you do to her, to be honest with you. She's really not that easy to just catch, and if she can just kind of 100 to 0 somebody in the span of a duel without having to really be that worried about what the response is, which is definitely a potential possibility, especially with the BKB up. It's going to be a weird thing to say, but this actually might not be a bad game for the stupid Ags on the LC. I don't know if you actually need the increased duration is the only thing, but if you do, actually wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Dust here accomplishes nothing as Princess Gang is just right-clicking T3s. Princess Gang doing a very good job of just never giving Radiant a single bit of ground, a single bit of opportunity. Every time it feels like in the last 10-15 minutes that Leftside Lunchboxes have wanted a fight, just nobody's there on Dire. That's a bit unfortunate. Grimstroke dies too fast, so they don't get a dual win.
Incoming!
Just out of position there without his team.
Bit unfortunate. And again, the second somebody shows up on a wave, everybody on left side goes there, and the second somebody shows up on the wave, everybody on Princess Gang just withdraws in moments to go somewhere else.
Exciting, but I don't.
Except Princess. Okay, I don't know what Princess is doing actually. This ain't great.
Heaven's Halberd for the Legion or the Drow?
Well, it doesn't really work on Legion per se.
Oh. Slash.
It's a good
Completely
Yules.
unaware. But unfortunately,
What's gonna happen?
no Bloodstone. I do notice that this Legion, Leshrac always has like close to 4, like, there's no mana basically.
Go
I
Bruce.
think he's managing his mana poorly.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
On one hand,
Structures are
I don't know why they're splitting for this. These towers do not get backdoor, and now Time's just gonna die. For really
Way
no
too
good
deep.
reason.
And Legion too. Huge ult.
Yeah, I
from the
really,
Lina.
really don't understand why Radiant split up there. That seems like bad communication. Like, if Tall Balls doesn't TP there, then he can at least just hookshot and eat the death.
Well, he doesn't have hookshot right now. He used it earlier in the fight. But the Drow
He
not
can
being
do
there kind of
something.
feels weird.
Yeah, he can do something about that. He can at least try and do something about that. You don't need to get backdoor protection for T1 towers, guys. That's why sniper is always it's the privilege of having sniper, as I always call it, is you don't actually need to, like, you just get T1s for free. You don't need to have the creeps there. You can just go eat it anytime.
Slushtrack is really going through it right now. The lowest, most net worth out of all the cores.
Yep. In fairness, not by that much. It's not that much. Like, it basically right now, this the core lineup is almost just Lena and everybody else as far as net worth goes. Everybody else very densely packed.
Looks like they're gearing up for a smoke in their triangle.
Once again, incidentally,
Command echelon.
that exact circumstance you saw in the last fight is why the Ags on the LC wouldn't be that bad. They have a lot more ability to stun the LC and just prolong the duel and cause a technical loss, or not a loss, cause a draw, than they do to actually win it. Of course, it'd be much better if they could get that Ags off of Roche, because it's probably not something you necessarily want to do, but at this point, that's going to be like, what, like an hour and a half before you get the Ags at this point? Roche has not even been looked at this game, and it's 30 minutes already.
Time to the impurities.
It's not the game that Leftside wants to be playing. They do not want to have to be sitting here just getting farm. This is not how they really win this game. The way they win this
to
game.
be honest, the longer it goes, the more in favor it is of the Radiant. Because Duel will just scale infinitely.
You know, the problem is that they're not getting duels. If it goes on forever and LC never gets more than this much duel damage, then I think it favors Dire.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, that would be.
And again, the second everybody falls off the map, Leftside Lunchboxes, you got one guy in the trees, two guys by T2s, these two sitting here in the secret shop, and are falling back even further.
Vanish!
Defensive Mirana ult here, just because they think maybe somebody's close. That's how committed Princess Gang is to not letting any duels drop.
Lash is just chilling top.
Yep.
I think he could easily take that T1 top though.
He probably doesn't really want to do that unless they see LC on the map.
And it's off.
Right now they don't.
Regeneration.
We've already had multiple occasions of LC just suddenly comes out of nowhere and drops the duel on him. Three-man smoke. LC
Radiant's top
Tiny,
tower is
Crystal
under
Maiden.
attack. Radiant are scanning.
Finding him in the jungle here. I think this is more people than they realize. This is definitely more than they realize. That's a really good ult on the part of awkward toss. Really good ult there on the part of the Grimstroke there. Just make it so the only dual target they can possibly get is Sand King, who's just by far and away the one you want the least right now. And Halberd just cockblocks a Tiny and he dies. They definitely went into that fight thinking it was just one random person doing the jungle, right? Princess Gang just playing this as frustratingly as possible for Leftside Lunchboxes, who they just cannot get a single pick. It's never, like, they're either 5 or they're just completely in defensive positioning.
Roshan has fallen
Lena
to
picks
the
up Aegis.
Immortality.
Illusion.
And it kind of makes it a little hard to see exactly how there's a path. LC did get a duel there. That is very good. It was very, very on the wire, though. And I feel like they can outpace the duel damage with items to stop those from happening at this juncture, at this rate.
Sorry, left you alone. I'm sorry. Someone's on my door. It's like, who's that, a
Again?
neighbor or something? Oh, just a package. I did see the fight initially, before I heard knocking, but
Yeah, here's a TLDR. Leftside Lunchboxes run him out on the map for 15 minutes trying to find somebody. Princess Gang stays uphill. Left side scans it, thinks it's just one person jungling. It's actually all of them jungling, and they just die. Left
yeah,
side is just finding it impossible to get a pick. Princess Gang is either completely defensive or 5. That's the 2 states that they're in this game.
There he goes.
Very, very dedicated to never letting a duel come out.
I think he dueled the Sand King, right? And
Yeah,
they didn't have enough damage to burst.
The Grimstroke ult stopped him from actually being able to get anybody else. He was physically tied down there. Because he was tied up with the Tiny who had already blinked. It was really slow.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Well, Drow's gonna take this tower faster than the Radiant duos.
But not much faster. It isn't great when that's a T2. J-Bay just randomly snaps Sculpture's Courier's neck and then captures the outpost for good measure.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think Drow's playing it too safe. She should just hit that tier 2.
I understand why she doesn't want to play it safe because she just saw the Moran ult come out and is assuming Rainbow TPs are about to drop on her head and kill her. Again, this is definitely a game where I do feel like it is probably in the best interest of ones for the most. Okay, why are you guys here?
All balls out of position right here. Huge Lotus from
Wow.
Tank. And this duel
Did actually win.
wins.
Wow, that was just so barely.
That was so long.
Yeah.
What's Aegis though? Tall balls. I mean, Jopa doesn't really have much mana.
Doesn't
But
actually
doesn't
matter.
matter.
'Cause, they can just keep clowning these guys forever.
Just one more hit and Moon River would have fell there. That Blade Mill was doing a lot that fight. But they all got grouped up there for the Split Earth and the Lena stun. Just unfortunate positioning.
And the sad thing is, at this point, they have BKBs on all their cores. I don't think Drow actually used
Passive
it in that fight.
BKB. The Debush curse.
Lena just finished up a Satanic there.
It's Scotty. Oh.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Feels like at this point, Princess Gang is starting to really run away with this. Okay, Jopa just picked up a Lincoln Sphere, which is just really going to frustrate LC.
It's gonna be huge. They don't have much spells that can really pop it.
Certainly
From the
not many
Radiant.
you want to use. It's like you've got the CM stun and
And Force Staff.
Force Staff. And that's, I
Hit that
guess,
thing.
Spirit Vessel chart, even that's pretty big.
I guess toss, but you have to be in like 300 range as well.
Yeah.
I know throwing the tree doesn't actually trigger it.
LC is about to
Huge
find
duel
us out
here?
the hard way. No, it ain't.
Split Earth?
You remember?
Oh.
Hello? Even if she had not gotten stunned there, that duel does not happen.
Did Lena BKB?
God.
What is this?
And LC did not
Huge
make
duel
it. This
here.
is a double
Oh, a
duel!
Lotus duel. Oh my god.
246.
How much is that? So she had like 176, I think, right? Or I'm not sure how much she had.
It's a lot. That's the important bit. 246 dual damage now.
Yeah, feels bad to have
Tied to the
Lotus.
impurities.
I'm actually surprised he went Lotus this game. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty good against
actually
the
feel.
silence, but the Yules is a lot better, I think.
Yeah, I actually feel like, yeah, you just kind of want if you want if you want the spell block, you actually probably want the Lincolns more than you want the Lotus, because making them like chew through Lincolns really sucks for that team. They have a lot of big single target spells that they don't want to get blocked by Lincolns.
Just
So if
more
you
dual damage.
Tiny picks up the axe here. Gonna help boost his damage output, but right now he's pretty much a walking axe almost. Really does not have anything to say for himself as far as like right click, for example. Okay.
And Lina out of position in the bottom
Yeah.
lane.
Just gets caught on the wave there. Yeah, it's like I said, having to be very careful about pushing out side lanes as the pause ones this game, especially for Lina. If you go too far in this game, there's a good chance that you just eventually just become guaranteed dead. More or less 284 damage on the LC now. And she actually is going for the axe here. Just finish it off. Realizes, like I said rightfully, that they've got a lot to delay a duel, but they really don't have anything to kill her during it. Well, pop. Oh, now she's realized that problem exists. That was your Lincoln's reveal.
Tower is under attack.
And now there's going to be rainbow TPs on this mid.
Is under attack.
Luckily for Radiant, all they're going to get for this is Matty Boy? No, they're not even going to get Matty Boy.
Dopa just getting pounded by the Legion.
Okay,
commander.
that was a very unfortunate attempt at. Okay. Wow, her duel actually got
Fighting-
popped by Lincolns again.
Dude, fighting without the Lina, this feels so weird. Both cores fall. I mean, both cores and supports fall. What for? There's no Roche here. And Lina was dead the whole time.
That was a very unfortunate go for Princess Gang. They were trying so hard to do something when LC wasn't there that, but they just got led around by the supports. Matty Boy was leading them by the nose. They really couldn't stop it.
The 10-second BKB from Looter just prolonged his existence.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Mid T2 goes down. Outpost gets taken.
Dire's middle tower.
And Roche
is under
just came
attack.
back up. I don't know if they realize that. If they do, that could be very big for them right now.
I think the
And they
mistake
do.
there was that. I think the mistake in the fight there was that
They just overcommitted
Yopo-
to try and kill the Matty Boy. As simple as. They couldn't find him, they should have let him get away, and they said, no, we gotta get a kill from this, the LC's gone. And the amount of time it took them to actually get that kill, LC came back.
Fallen to the Radiant.
Radiant have Aegis and Shard.
Yep. Trail already has Shard. Actually,
I guess
pretty much.
Legion Shard.
Let's see, don't have it on the Clockwork. Yeah, it's
Don't have it on
only
the
LC and
yes,
Clockwork
yeah.
missing it. Those are both just kind of whatever shards in this game. Trail might actually just sell it. Or just give it to Clock. Now he has a jetpack.
Rock it on.
Very frustrating game for Princess Gang to try and be pushing out the waves here. Between the flare, between the tiny, overwhelming odds, multi-shot. While Princess Gang has a good ability to push out, they can't really keep their own wave alive. So the best possible scenario is that they kill a bunch of waves, but just lose all theirs in the process.
Hidden
even from the brightest light.
Mirana just pulls ult here.
Jackpot.
And Lunchboxes are not playing into it at all. Also going for the strength blink here. Getting very close, both to it and to Lena on the net worth chart. Also getting very close to the landmark milestone of 300 duel damage, which for 45 minutes ain't too bad, especially considering how flighty the enemy lineup has been through this game. 5-man smoke going to the jungle here. Might not necessarily find anything. Okay, they did spot a sculpture there. But I mean, yeah, there's nothing coming out of this. Everybody on Princess Gang just TP to T3s.
Dire are scanning.
Rock it on.
This is like the most defensive I've ever seen a Dota team play. Another package show up at your door or what?
I'm sorry, I sneezed.
That
that's
was
what
a
I'd say.
very long sneeze.
No, I was thinking about what I was gonna say, and then I sneezed right as you were gonna ask that. What I was gonna say was that what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say how the Dire were just playing inside their base, like
Yeah,
this.
they were all
They're
up.
clearly all gearing up
Yep.
for high ground.
They were all up in jungle there until the smoke on Radiant, at which point everybody TP'd behind T3s. Clearly no desire to fight outside of high ground at all. No desire to even be out there right now.
Dire's courier has been
Goodbye to
killed.
Hollywood's courier. Not really sure why
Dire's
that was
middle
there.
tower is under attack.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Only the wary might find us.
Bottom's pushing in hard.
You
Huge
get a
stun.
big stun here.
Double arrow. This is first death, I think. I think Lone Wolf doesn't fall here. Legion heal is just too much. And they back from this?
No, they back so Drow can get Satanic.
Oh.
Matty Boy eats a full duration arrow. T3 here is very low
Does,
again.
Does Leshrac have ult, by the way? I mean bots.
Does Lesh? Yes.
I think he could have at least like
No, he
made
can't.
someone
If he
TP back.
if he leaves, these racks are dead. That's as simple as it gets.
With the splitter?
There is no follow up to that. Even with the split earth, because you still get several seconds of time on the tower here, even when the okay, you get several seconds on the tower here, even when the creep wave is gone. Like backdoor is still not gone yet. Look how far this wave is.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They
I
might
would watch out if I
realize
was
it.
this grim.
Dire's structures are fortified.
There's the fortify.
Yep, they're gonna glyph it. LC hit 25, got the magic manatee trade.
Radiant's bottom
Aegis
tower
just expired, they're done here.
Uh,
Double damage. Oh my god.
I don't know if they really did anything there.
Well, they did 90% of this tower's HP.
I mean, they could have at least farmed some camps in the meantime.
They're just prepping for an opportunity that never arrived. I think that's more or less it. They were really just waiting for either a good opportunity to just jump the barricade and just go up there, or a good opportunity to just commit to it and just finish off the buildings, and neither of those opportunities showed up.
I think the Grim was playing very very predictable. He was playing on the right side of the tower, very close to the stairs. He could have been taken out there very easily.
But that's not what happened.
I'll take your tribute.
You know, everybody's in that moment, I guarantee you, is thinking, okay, yeah, that's bait if I go for that. You know, Lena's just gonna jump on my ass, I'm just gonna die. there's 5-man smoke here. It's going the exact same way. This is exactly what happened last time when you were having that sneeze. And again,
The
you can
unfortunate
see
sneeze.
just very, very defensive play here by the Dire.
It's a free duel right there.
They're waiting for the for somebody to come in for the ambush.
Oh, huge stun here for the Legion. No follow-up though.
Oh no!
There's a hook shot. Catches the Lina and the duel.
Okay.
Huge hook shot from Tall Balls. And Mirana falls.
I really
And last
thought that
Shrek.
I really thought that Lotus Orb on Sanking was going to be another double duel, but it does not happen that way.
Wow.
I mean,
I
at
do
this
feel a little
point, just send LC to. I guess they don't even need to do that. No, they do. Somebody needs to do something about it, and it is indeed LC.
Is that another duel right there? He's
No, because he's got Lincolns, and LC still doesn't have anything to do about that.
Dire's top tower is
So
under
all he can do is
attack.
just beat him up.
Looter going in.
Dire's middle
Has
Yep.
no trees though. Oh, there's a tree there in his hand. CM though, a little bit
Yep.
too deep.
CM is going to die for this, but the good news is that while Shrek was doing that, there was something else going on that he was not able to stop. Wow, this is really the ultimate payoff to this game. It's like even here, the Princess Gang are still playing defensively and definitely over defensively. I do not know what possessed them to think that they've got a fighting chance in this game. 2 lanes of racks down, but something did, I guess. Roche has
Honestly,
in
they
1
could have
minute.
kept going and then forced some buybacks from the Lina.
Dire are
Tiny
scanning.
finishes Daedalus, Clockwork finishes Ags. Honestly, I don't think the Ags is probably the way to go for Clockwork this game. I think honestly he probably could have just used a BKB more.
Would have been nice against the Lesh at least. And the
Would have been
Sand
nice
King.
against the Lesh, would have been nice against the Sand King, would have been nice against the Grimstroke Silence.
And it's up.
I guess every spell.
Yeah. They sure got a lot of them on that team. No shortage. CM has a BKB, see? Imagine how annoying it would be to be playing against this lineup, against this Radiant team with 5 BKBs. Like, it's just impossible to do anything. Very surprised Clockwork didn't go for that. Is he at least thinking about it now? Yes, he is. Okay, so yeah, this will be a 5 BKB team very soon.
Even with wards in their own jungle. Princess Gang is playing it safe.
Yeah, I mean, 2 times in a row now, Leftside Lunchboxes just 5-man smoked right in through there. And last time they did it, they just got 3 kills and lost nothing. Everybody
she's
on
going
Princess
bottom.
Gang just sitting here, waiting at T3s. At the line where T3s used to be anyway.
Radiant are scanning.
Rana almost runs into the scan and then God tells her to turn around. Lone Wolf has the right idea, just goes right into Roche. If they're not gonna give any ground, they're not gonna even think about taking a fight, then we're just gonna take the Roche for free. Pick up the Refresher Shard, pick up Aegis and Cheese. Can
Maybe pick
get
up
that
me?
Refresher Shard to LC for the 2 duels and 2 halberds.
Oh.
Oh, they're gonna give
Are
it
you
to
gonna
Tiny
take it?
instead for some reason. No, they're gonna give it
Oh,
to
give it to
Matty
the
Boy.
CM.
Could also be pretty bad.
I mean, double BKB on Legion Commander and Duel would be nice.
Job is just waiting to cut the
Hidden,
wave.
even from the brightest light.
Need some like
Yeah,
Tinker
that is,
wards, or I guess
yeah.
Leshrac wards, to be honest.
Jackpot.
I don't think they've realized that Lesh has been doing this through the game yet.
Oh, nope, he is.
He thought about, okay, Moon River is very forward here, but they don't have anything to do about the invis, so it's fine.
Oh, she's going
Flushes
top
out.
again. I think he could have taken another wave and then TP'd.
Probably, but on the other hand, I don't know if that actually does anything for you at this juncture, so you might as well do something productive. I think they just face tank the tower, and this wave just gets it. They've actually got enough at this point of damage to just carve through the backdoor protection anyway. They prefer not to do that, but they can as an option.
Oh, arrow.
The always
Dugwood.
unfortunate lack of vision.
I admit.
Oh, arrow.
Pings Drow. Drow takes a tower shot, just desperately wants vision to appear here. Then goes, wait, why am I not multi-shotting the only possible place Sand King could be?
Oh, there's the tree toss, but she has Yules.
Yep.
There is
Flesh
the
is showing up
infinite
for this
splitter.
defense.
There's a stun again. Then a huge
Next-
dispel.
Next wave that shows up, this tower's dead.
I mean, Expo? No, it's done.
Yep.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh, this Lina, way too risky, I think. Oh, dude, she. Oh,
Oh well.
there's the duel on the Lina, like I said.
And the Ag just makes absolute sure Lena gets to do the full brunt of that. First life down on the Drow.
This,
Pretty much everyone dead on the Dire here, on the Radiant here rather.
Legion is out of position here. Leshrac is staying alive throughout all this damage. Only take one rack. One rack left to go.
The downside is, they did pull out the Lena buyback for that. The upside is it's the only one they used. Needed the Spirit Vessel for the Leshrac there. Just didn't come out like that. And the biggest downside is, unfortunately for Princess Gang, despite all of that, they can't do anything with this power play.
Big force
Gonna get this
buybacks. I think.
T2.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Did Lesh go the talent that increases your pulse damage?
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah, he
under
did it.
attack.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty hard to tell at this point because he's level 29, but you know.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I think you just should
Bring
keep
up
going,
for
to be
that.
honest. The only one spawning back is Clock. They should just go for Tier 4s.
They're just gonna
Okay.
clean up the equivalent racks in the enemy
Radiant's middle
spawn area.
Okay.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Well, are they gonna actually
Radiant's
mega
top
this time?
barracks has fallen.
Lena doesn't have any stacks, I think.
Do they actually have another glyph for this?
I trust
No, I don't think so.
No, you can't not think so. They have it.
Is under attack.
Yeah.
Oh, they do have it. Never mind.
Radiant structures are fortified.
You can look at the HUD, my friend.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm actually surprised they went for the top one and not the bottom one. Because if they went for the bottom one, it would make pushing into the bottom wave even harder, right?
Yeah, I mean that. Oh wow, Tiny actually died with a cheese. Oh, he didn't even have it in his inventory.
But wouldn't you like take those bottom racks though, so that it's harder for them to push the wave into the
Probably,
barracks?
but you don't need to do that because the T3's not even here. Just push another wave and just eat the racks when you're there. I know it's easy to forget, but if one creep is in the entire base, everything in it gets unbackdoored. It's just something a lot of people don't take as a valid strategy, but it is. They basically got one concerted push before they're mega'd. Which is why, of course, this game is going to be an hour 30 minutes long.
Incoming.
LC just very hopeful there that somebody was doing this. It's a few seconds until the next tier items spawn. It's going to be very awkward for Princess Gang with how defensively they've been playing. They really do not want to let the enemy team just have complete monopoly on these items, or else they have no real chance here. 58, 59, it's open! And the second it rolls over, everybody on the lunchboxes just invades the jungle here.
Jackpot. And it's off.
Let's just picked up an Ags. He's going to go back home. Ex Machina. Funnily enough, of course, despite the fact that the lunchboxes have done an entire jungle's worth of camps, they have not gotten a single item. Princess did one camp and got one. Clear indication that Gaben hates you when that happens. Lunchboxes are splitting up to try and secure more camps here. It is not helping their luck out at all. Rana picks up a gem. Stygian Desolator comes out here. Can be very nasty on some of these guys. Trout with the Apex.
Very cool indeed.
Giant's Ring, Seer Stone. Tiny appears to be making room for that Giant's Ring, which I believe was immediately sent home rather than just given to him. Yep, everybody on Leftside Lunchboxes is just sending their items home rather than giving it to people for some reason. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a public service announcement. You can move a jungle item into somebody else's inventory. You don't have to do this. Tiny's about to get really big. And they're saying just go north and end it.
Money to burn.
I don't know why he's keeping the neutral item in his inventory, to be honest. Oh? The Ghost Scepter? But still gets the duel, and a huge hook shot. Darkwood is
Two
dead.
buys. Lena is...
BKBs and
yep.
wasted it.
Lena is unable to attack.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Chi toss, tree toss.
Let's go in for the
Almost
megas
kills
here.
Lena there. Satanic. Oh, huge.
Dyer's mid-
Ancient
They
is
could just
open.
Take the ancient, to be honest.
Dyer's ancient is under attack.
Dire Glyph for the Ancient. Leshrac gives up on the base race.
I don't even know what to say.
Lots of buybacks, and I really need to go, like, as soon as humanly possible, so we're just gonna skip until we got a decisive team fight. Lesh hitting the Bloodstone there really late. Does not avail him, he's dead.
Lena's dead for a
Nope,
second
she's
time.
just gonna get out of there. More buybacks. They're not really taking into account the casters when they're playing this game.
Oh, there's a buyback for the Tiny.
Yep.
Lesh has no more BKB. She just dies to Drow.
Yep. And that's the dieback on Leshrac.
Really puzzling what Lena was doing there. Just sitting on low health the whole time.
Satanic passive item, what can I say? Drow Ranger picks up a Divine Rapier. We're suddenly going to go to 2x speed for some reason. Because I really do not want to break the video with like a minute left to end.
Dire are scanning.
Incoming.
You could chat CM pushing in the lane.
Yep. At this point, I don't think they can credibly kill Drow if we could just kill the Ancient. Yeah.
They could just BKB and hit the Ancient, to be honest. Lina just dies.
We got, yep, and there it goes. Hooray!
GG.
Alright. Hell of a game, boys. It sure was, and for analysis on this game, check out the next video.